Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Mika Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Today is Wednesday, which means it's time for a lucky dip. I had to replace one item because I couldn't find the actual item, but let me explain for anybody who has never watched one of my lucky dips before what I'm doing. I have a spreadsheet that has all of my random art supplies listed, over 300 items and groups of items. And then I just go to random.org and choose 4 numbers, and then those items become what I use to create a piece. And what I've been doing for the past year plus is using my photo reference books, which I have quite a few of, and I've never used them. I just got them because they're like, ah, how cool. And so I'm drawing these poses and things, or items or sections of these poses. So this is the one that I'm using right now. So let's introduce the items that I got this time. So the first one is the Tombow. So actually, let me say something first. Almost all of these are things that I've gotten like within the past year, I think. So that's interesting. 300 plus items. I keep getting repeats, but I'm just going to go with it because it wastes time trying to pick new item. I'll just go with it. So the first one is the Tombow Mono J pencil in HB. So it's just like, I always say this, but it's just another one of those, like, just a great drawing pencil. Like, it's really nice and light. I love that, so that you can draw with it for a very long time because it's not so heavy that it'll fatigue your hand. And then the HB is always a really great place to start if you don't know what you want for your drawing pencil, because it's right in the middle between hardness, which is the lightest graphite that you'll get on the page, and boldness, which is the darkest graphite you'll get on the page. So this one's right in the middle. The next thing that I drew was the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer Magnus watercolor pencil in black. So Schwarz, this is going to be fun. I've got my bowl of water for this, and also for the next item. But this is another one I'm pretty sure I've used this within the past year, but why not? Let's use it again. Also, look how it's so huge. So it's great because it's a watercolor pencil, so you can cover huge areas with it because it's giant. Like, it's almost twice as thick as the regular pencil. Okay, so the third item, and actually let me write on here. I had to replace because I couldn't find it. So I must have given it away when I did my big post-graduation cleanup of my studio. Not this past January, but the January before that. But I have a similar item. What I had drawn was a Yasutomo Sumi ink stick. So that's like a dry ink stick, and then you rub it on a little like stone tray with some water, and then it creates ink right then and there. Just as much ink as you need. But I have some Sumi ink in a pot, so it's already like moist. So I figured this is close enough. So this is what I'm using instead. So let me write that really quick. Kuretake Sumi ink 60. Boom. So just replacing it with a very similar item. Exie, hello! You're late. It's been 6 minutes. That's how late I was to my last stream, I think, so you're okay. How are you? Hello. Great to see you as always. Hope you're doing good. Hope you had a great past 24 hours since yesterday. Well, I can put my pen away over here. Okay, the last item. Yet again, I know I've used this in the past year. So, anyway, I think this is only the second time I've ever used this, so I don't mind. Not gonna change it up. Not gonna change up what the random number generator gave me. So these are the Onyx brand newspaper, recycled newspaper, colored pencil set. So it's cool. They're made out of recycled newspaper. Let me, I'll get them out so that I can, I wonder if I put them back in color order? No, I didn't. I was wondering if when I put them away, I matched them, but I did not. Ah, nice. I've been thinking of doing that. Oh, I'm so glad that you're doing all right as well. No wonder you're doing all right, because you watched all of Loki. Who wouldn't do all right after that? Just kidding, but, you know, we both love the Loki, so that's awesome. Yeah, I'm like, I really need to just watch it all from the beginning. I think that's a marathon in my future. A Loki entire season 1 through season 2, just all day long. In fact, I don't think it'll take all day. I don't remember how long. Anyway. But you watch the entirety in a day, so I think I could do it. How am I doing? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I actually had kind of a rough night of sleep, but I took it easy over the past hour or so, and now I feel a lot more recharged, so I just need a little rest. I didn't take a nap or anything, but I just like chilled out on my phone. I don't do that too much, but it was excellent for recharging me for my stream. So yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's totally doable. That's less than a extended cut Lord of the Rings marathon, which I've done before. So, right? Because I think they're like 4 hours long each, and I've definitely done Lord of the Rings. I never watch anything other than the extended cut of Lord of the Rings, but yeah, that would be so fun. A full day of Loki. I would make a bunch of green snacks and foods and stuff, like guacamole and green veggies and oh, green and gold too, so we could have some hummus. Oh, that's such a good idea. I'm getting totally distracted imagining how my my Loki marathon's going. Did you have any green snacks for your green and gold snacks for your Loki marathon? I think that would be fun. Oh yeah, I was going to show the colored pencils how they are made out of recycled newspaper. So hopefully the camera will autofocus. Thank you, camera. So you can see how it's wrapped up newspaper. Like wrapped around and around and around the core. And so the whole thing, there's no wood. It's made out of newspaper. So that's really cool. I really like this from because it says green, Onyx Plus green. So it's like an eco-friendly idea. The only thing is they're not that great for artwork, I'd say. Like, it does say school on it, so I think they're meant to be, it says school on here. So they're meant to be for, you know, grade school students. It was my experience in elementary school that we always had to have, like, 12 colored pencils. Like, it would always be specifically, have a pack of 12 colored pencils. For some reason, it was exactly had to have that exact amount. So I think these are designed for younger people in school rather than professional artists. But it's fun to experiment with it and try, so. Well, that's alright too. Yeah, you gotta stay hydrated during those, whether it's a physical marathon like running or it's a what would you call it? An intellectual marathon by watching a show? Yeah, gotta stay hydrated. And thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna have a drink of my water. If you were gonna make a Loki snack, what would it be? I'm thinking about, when I went to Japan earlier this year, I got these gold flakes that you can put on your drinks and food. And so I was like, oh, that. After I was telling you about my thoughts just now, I was like, wait, I could use a gold flakes. So maybe I would make like, the easiest one, which was at the shop where I got the gold flakes, green tea with the little gold flakes on it. And maybe like, oh, make that green pie from season 2. I don't think that's a spoiler. Green pie. It's just regular old green pie, so like key lime pie. There's pie in it, everybody. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to... So this... I'll just work with it. Feels a shame to skip a whole page just because of one little red blotch on here. So, I think this was last week. 8 November? Yeah, so last week's bled through a little bit, but let's just go with it because it's just drawing practice anyway. Yeah. I've been thinking about that pie. Like, I want to make it, especially the way it looks like. It looks like cheapo, like cheapo made from a box instead of made from scratch, kind of. But it also looks so appetizing. grape and nuts, grape nuts, the grape nuts cereal. I haven't eaten that in a long time. I used to love that grape nuts cereal. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is test out all these items. Pencil, like I said, it's just nice, decent pencil. You can't go wrong. Graphite goes on really, really quickly, and you can also you can get a nice coverage keeping it light, and then you can quickly take it really dark too without too much effort. And of course you can make some lines with it. Not too much to swatch with this with a pencil. Okay, so this one's water. Should I do it first or should I do it? No, I think I'll do it first so there's time for it to dry. Yeah, it has that lovely little slice of lime on the top. Ooh, and I bet the lime is like a candied lime. Ooh, I love candied citrus fruit. I gotta make it. I gotta find a recipe and try it. Thank you for these great ideas. My Loki marathon is coming to life. It's perfect because I have started watching the MCU movies with the oldest of my younger sisters. Because she was just going to watch Loki without having watched everything. And I was like, no, there's references. You have to watch the other movies first. So we're watching them week by week. So now once she's caught up on the movies, we can have a big old marathon, and I'll make the green Loki pie. Okay, so this is what it looks like going on dry. Just looks like regular colored pencil. Also applies like regular colored pencil. It has that same waxy feeling. But I've got my paintbrush, so I'm going to apply the water because it's watercolor pencil. Oh yes, nice. So it smooths it out very quickly. Especially on the dark area, you can barely see the texture of the pencil applied to the paper anymore. You can see it still at the bottom where I applied it more lightly. But something else you can do with watercolor pencils that I love is get your brush wet, and then you can just pull the pigment off of the tip of the pencil and then apply it. There. And then so if you don't want that texture, you can do it like that. And it just behaves like regular watercolor, just like solid watercolor in a wooden casing. So it's a nice... I'll hold it up. I think I actually prefer it just taking it off the tip. It's just so smooth. You can see the grain from the paper, but over here you can see the difference with drawing it on first leaves a much more noticeable texture. Of course, this is still all damp, so it's gonna lighten up and look a little bit different once it dries, but yeah, it's what I felt like. Again, anybody watching who hasn't seen it yet, don't worry. I will keep it spoiler free, but season 1 I feel like is the one where there's a lot of references to other MCU stuff, anything relating to Loki. But I think season 2, there's only one little instance of it referencing something else that happened. So I feel like especially season 2, you don't need anything else other than season 1 to watch and enjoy it. Yeah, as for the texture too, I think it would be really nice to have like a whole set of these. So they work really, really nicely. It's so the big area is still damp, but this part has dried, and it's got like my favorite thing, how it just naturally organically dries with a little bit parts are lighter, a little bit parts are darker, and I love that natural, random variation. That's what makes watercolor so great to me. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to use is this sumi ink. It's very tight, the lid. Oh man, ouch. Hold on. Wait, I'll try and use I've got my cloth here for my brushes, but try to use this to open this lid. Dang, it is just really stuck. Ah, there, I got it. Hooray! Okay. I'm pretty sure I've used this before because this particular ink is so, like, the ink itself is great, but the design of the ink pot is just awesome. The way it's really, really wide, but it's also low, like it's only this high. So it's very, much less likely than other ink pots that I have to be tipped over if you accidentally bump it. Like, it has such a low, very low center of gravity. It also has really nice wide opening, which is something that is troublesome in other inks, is they'll have like this teeny tiny opening. If you dip your pen in there, it's kind of like that game Operation where you're not supposed to touch the sides or else it'll zap you. So that's what it feels like, because you dip your pen or your brush in there and then the ink is on the part where you're holding, so then you get ink all over your fingers because the opening wasn't wide enough. Not only that, look at how they designed the cap. It's got a pen rest built into the cap so that you can put your, well, look at that. It's so awesome. So whenever I run out of ink, which will be very far in the future, I am definitely, I am so loyal to this. This is the Kuretake Zig brand, and it's called Sumi Ink 60. So yeah, I love this. I love this ink. Okay, let's test it. I'm just like showing it off so much and not actually using it. So first let's try, I guess, the big brush. I'm just going to use brushes instead of dip pen. Oh, it looks so good. And let's try a big, oh yeah, I can get a huge, huge swatch. Okay. And I'll try the smaller brush too, though I don't think oh, maybe I'll use it. Let's just try it. Great design, yep. They are so smart. Kuretake Zig. Like, Kuretake is the brand and Zig is the line. And they have so much cool stuff, but this is definitely my favorite thing that they make. I was like, I can't remember for sure, but it literally says very smooth flowing sumi ink for manga drawing. And it says, so I'm reading it off the side, water-based pigment / waterproof after dry. So I think that means that you could use it to ink something, and then once it's dry, you can color it. I don't know about its strength against like Copic, like alcohol-based markers, but I think that if it truly is waterproof after dry, then you could use watercolor on it. I can't really test that today because I just have it black. So I wouldn't be able to test where the ink is moving or whether it's just the black from the colored pencil. It's cool though. I mean, maybe I could, because look at how much darker this sumi ink is versus the black colored watercolor pencil. So I guess I could try it. I could try it out. Let's do it. Let's do it. So this is still wet, but this stuff is pretty dry. Let's just see. In fact, I don't think I have to put the watercolor pencil on it. I can just brush some water across it. Let's see. Well, let's do the colored pencils first before testing this water fastness. And then that way it'll have a fair amount of time to dry. So I definitely used these before. And like, look at this. This is so tiny. I gotta sharpen these. So give me a second. I'm just gonna get my... Wait, maybe I've got... I'll just use this one. My favorite ratchetta. I always show it off on my streams. It's such a good a pencil sharpener. It solved the problem that I had with all pencil sharpeners, so that I don't have to move my hands. I just go back and forth. I don't have to keep taking my hand off like this, you know? I just go, and it just gets sharp. Oh, it's dripping a little. Not dripping, but dropping. Such close words, but not totally different, but quite different meanings. Dropping little bits and pieces, but there you can see much better. Okay, so let's see. That one's all right. This one's a bit short. Still need some more, I think. That one's all right. That one's all right. Oh, this one's a bit short. I think maybe, so this is making me think like how, I got this, I think, out of an Art Snacks or some other box. This one I found on Jet Pens. But this made me think like, this is so great, and if I'm remembering correctly, I would not have found it without like Art Snacks or some other art subscription box where you get random stuff. So even though I no longer subscribe to those things because I just have way too many tools from that, it's not worth the money to just get more and more stuff that I'm not using. But it was nice to get to try so much different stuff and find my favorites and find stuff that was not just useful as a like an entertaining way to make art with different stuff, but like find stuff that I want to use in my regular art or whatever. Anyway, I think that the subscription box is especially nice if you want to just experiment with stuff without having to try to shop for it. And then see, what do you like, what do you not like? Let's see. So I guess I'll just do a little small swatch of each of these. Like I said, since this is designed for school children, it's not the best colored pencil. It definitely has a higher wax to pigment ratio. I can tell because of the sort of the feeling that comes up the pencil as I'm drawing, and how much I have to put a little more pressure on to get the color to lay down. When the color is on here though, I think it's quite pretty. Oh, this green one is having a tough time though. It's light green. Gotta go over it a few times to get enough. I guess I'll do the white colored pencil, but I'm on white paper, so you're not really gonna be able to see anything. Yeah, you can only see it if you do your head kind of. So I think I can show it with the camera. Can you sort of see how the light reflects on the white patch? It's the only way you can tell. Rainbow. Rainbow of colors. I love it when I get a rainbow item. I love color. There. I'm not going to try to like combine each color with each other, but just a little. It's actually really nice, even though some of them like this light green. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. The light green I had to go over several times to get sort of an equivalent presence to these other colors, but still not bad. And it's a nice variety of colors. Okay, so the final thing I wanted to do before we get started on perfect timing, we're gonna have about half half dedicated to swatching and half dedicated to... Man, the only problem is my ink is... my water is so dirty with ink that it might not be a fair test, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't think this is waterproof. Look at that. That is way more than the water being contaminated with ink. I don't think it's waterproof. Or maybe if I left it to dry overnight, something. Okay, this water really is so dirty already. I'm gonna go change this water real quick. So I haven't had to use my BRB sign in a while. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm a BRB. I'm gonna switch out my water. One day I'll have a sink in here so I can just do it and not have to leave the room. But I'll be right back. I'm back. Oh, nice, Exy. Nice. I love that. Use that. The best emoji for the moment. So good. Ah, hello. I love seeing that. Yay. Twitch gave me some stats that said my my little emojis have been, or here it's called emotes, right? Emotes have been making their way into other channels, so making their debuts in other channels. So that was really happy to see when I see that on the. I don't think I got an email about it. It's like there's a statistics page about that somewhere. Anyway, because I always mention it, but I'm not like a Twitch expert or anything. I just learn what I need to in the moment. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know it would tell me that it's been used in another channel or how many times and stuff. And make me very happy to see that. Okay, I'm rearranging my space. I'm going to do my best to. It's kind of hard to make sure to keep this up because I was working a little too low earlier. Okay, where are we? So I think we did this one last time. Oh wait, it's right here. So yeah. Ooh, so it's an upside down one today. It's this nice big image. So many of them are like this big, and it's so hard to see the details. But let's see. Since it's so big, maybe I'll take the opportunity to focus on some more detail that I wouldn't normally see. I'm kind of liking this section where the face in profile view framed by the arms and the sleeves and the sword. So maybe if I take because it's a rectangle here, so make a rectangle like right here with the face on one side. So maybe not even having much of the sword. I think that's what I'll do. Let me just clip. Hold on. What's this? Oh, interesting. You can see where the white backdrop. Oh, let me make sure I'm showing it to you. You can see where the white backdrop is. The edge of the white backdrop in this photo shoot. And on this side too. That's so interesting. I've never noticed that before. Most of them... Oh yeah, this one too. They stand out so much on the white backdrop that I have never noticed that before. Okay, Clippy 1 and Clippy 2. And cool, it does not seem like I'll need to get my paint can out this time. It looks like it's gonna stay open on its own. So that's good. So, what order shall I use these in? I will definitely use the colored pencils last because colored pencils do not play well with water media unless you're trying to use it as a, there's a term for it, where you're putting it down on purpose so that the water media will not go there. So I guess I could use it. It's called something. There's a term for that. It's like a, what is it called? Hold on. Hold on. This is bothering me. What is it called? Using colored pencil to stop water media? I'm just trying to search. I can't. To repel. Resist. That's what it's called. It's called a resist. Cool. There's this blog has a whole page about it, or oh, I can't really see it. rubycharmcolors.com. They have exactly so. Using wax resist, it says. So that's what it's called. It was bothering me. Wax resist. I put my phone back. So you can do that. You can put the colored pencil down and then it repels any water media. So I can think about that. But I only have 25 minutes, so I don't want to take too long. So I've got graphite, watercolor pencil, ink. So let's do the obvious thing. Let's sketch with the graphite. That is the most obvious thing to do. Okay, so I think I'd like... So let's see, the angle of the face is about like this. I would like the face to take up a huge amount of space, and then whatever else fits in here, even if it's not really anything else, do that. So I put this line here to hopefully be about the same angle, and it's interesting, his forehead really defines the angle, and then it comes in for his brow and his eye, and then the nose comes back out to about the same point and about the same length as the forehead as well. And then that's like all you can see. Can't really see much else. Okay. And he has a very straight forehead. And then his hair starts here. So here's his hair. And so the angle of his hairline is about like this. So I'm just going to try to mark that and draw it. And then the angle of his sleeve, hiding most of his face, is almost straight up and down. Yeah, and I've drawn it so close that you can't even see the end of the sleeve on this page because it's too far down. It's because it's about the same length as his nose, as the length of his nose. So that would be like here. Okay. Then I guess we'll add, so we've got the hair, sleeve. Would we see? No, we wouldn't even see any of this arm. So I'm really zoomed in on the face. He's looking down like this direction. So let's add the eyebrow. And then the pupil. It's like this. And yeah, the bottom lid of the eye is about the same as this, the same angle as the sleeve. So we'll use that as a reference. Okay. Okay, so face is done. I wonder if this is all that's going to fit in here because I made it so big. Let's actually do a little measurement. So let's measure from the start of the hairline to the tip of the nose. Is the other side of the pencil. So maybe about this far. Let's see how far that is to the arm. Oh wow, it's like the exact distance. So this distance from here to here is the same distance from here to the arm straight out. So I can do the same thing here. Measure from here to here. And yeah, the arm is barely going to be in it, but the arm does angle. And it is about the same angle, a little bit more acute, I think. So we'll go right about here and add the arm in. You can see the sleeve is also at about the same height here, the back arm's sleeve. So it would be right here from it starts visually from the tip of the nose and then ends right here, just past the bend of the elbow. So put that there. It's hanging down just like this other one. So awesome. Then we'll just draw this arm. Get the nice gentle curve of the arm muscle. I don't know what this muscle is called. Forearm muscle. I don't know the official name. Even though I read the first part of my yoga, Science of Yoga, I think it's called. It's a book I'm reading right now. I could not remember all the muscle names. There's too many muscle names. So this is called forearm muscle. No scientific name here. Okay, now I'm just adding the bridge basically of the sleeve that visually connects the face to the arm. Not all of it will even be on the page because it kind of dips up and down with the wrinkles of the fabric. Okay. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably good. Wow. So we're gonna have this big area. Maybe I'll fill it with a rainbow. Maybe I'll fill it with a rainbow of colors. Because I've got this. I really liked the idea of having the face right here, but that meant that I have this big void in the middle. So let's be done with the pencil for now. What shall we do next? Shall we do? The Sumi ink was not waterproof. Maybe it's just maybe you have to give it a long time. I'm seeing if it says, no, it just has emergency in case you or somebody drinks the ink. Please don't drink the ink, folks. It's not good for you. Nope. It says waterproof after dry, but look at that. It was not. That was not. Okay. So yeah, let's do the watercolor pencil first. And I'll just try not to do... Let's see, what do I want to do? I'm going to take it off. Yeah, when I took it directly off the tip instead of drawing on the page first, it dried pretty quickly. So let's just do that. And since it created this, oh, you can't see because of this chat box, but it's a nice gray color actually. It says black on here, but it made a nice gray color. So I'm going to use that for shading on my figures. On this figure, I guess. Oh, I just flipped it on the... I gotta be careful. Wipe that. Oh, we got a little bit on there. That's the thing, you can go psh, psh, and get flashes. That's not what I was trying to do though, so. Okay. So let's add some shading via watercolor pencil. And while it's still wet, while the paper is still wet, I'll add some more, the areas that I want to be darker. So like you can see, it's much more lit on the underside of his arm than the side that's closer to his face. That's probably good. And I think I'll use the ink not only for outlining, but also for the hair, because it's quite dark, and then the inside of this sleeve here, very, very dark. And I'm just trying to use the water, more or less water, depending, to control how the shading is developing. I can't work the paper too much. It's starting to pill. Paper's starting to come up. Well, there's going to be some interesting texture from the paper. Okay, so I'll stop working on that area because paper says no, no more, no more. Ooh, I had a great idea. To show the difference between the skin, the shading for the skin, and the shading for the fabric of the clothing, I'm going to draw directly on for that, for the fabric, and then that way there will be that texture in there, and it'll help it look like a different texture than the skin's texture. Let me set that one down. Alright, now applying the water. Since I already applied water to the tip of the pencil, it made a little, how can I say this? Some flecks of the pencil came off because the pencil tip was softened by applying water to it for the first round. So I'm trying to smooth those out. I think that's pretty good. Okay, since this sleeve is different, even though they're right next to each other on this drawing, this is a different sleeve than this one. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and then I will apply the water to here so that there will be a hard line in between, hopefully. So I suppose in the meantime, oh yeah, I will apply some ink for the hair and the eyebrow. And it's so great. Using a brush in a, just dipping brush in ink is so great for doing hair. Gives you the awesome hair texture. Just because the brush is like little hairs. So the brush is literally a bunch of little hairs. So yeah, for Inktober next year, for my Inktober streams next year, I'm definitely going to use a dip pen and probably a brush, because I love this. I love being able to fill in a big area evenly, quickly, evenly. And then when it dries, it still has this awesome texture. Like I can show you on the swatch we did. Is it focused? I think it did. Yay. So even though it's quite dark, there's still this unique texture. Like here's, maybe this is still a bit damp and that's why that's shiny. But down here, it's all filled in really dark, but it's got this like cool cloudy texture. It's so cool. I love it. I love using ink out of a pot. Well, that's still a little bit damp. I was going to go to this, but let's do the eyebrow too, because this is still more damp than I want it. I don't need too much ink, because I'm just going to do probably the pupil too. Well, I'll just do the whole eye, because it's just this tiny little space. But do the eyebrow. And I can do what I like to do, which is give eyebrows texture. I love eyebrows. I love fuzzy eyebrows on people, and I love drawing texture with eyebrows with texture in my work. I've got almost no eyebrows. Like naturally, my eyebrows are so thin. Like there's hardly, the hairs are thin, and also there's hardly any of them. So maybe that's why I admire big fluffy eyebrows so much. Okay, also, let's do a little, let's switch to the smaller brush and do some eyelashes. Let's see, okay, I got my calendar notification. We got 10 minutes. 10 minutes to fill this section in with a rainbow. We can do it. We can do this. Okay, let's add some eyelashes. How about a little bit? I'm not actually seeing it because it's way too small to see, but let's put a little bit on the lower as well. On the lower lid. Haha, cool. Okay. I'm definitely going to come back to the ink in a second, but I think, I mean, regardless of whether it's where I want it to be, let's just go ahead and put the water on this last bit of watercolor pencil because we don't have time to wait any longer. Another thing that's interesting with an interesting difference between taking the color off of the tip of the pencil and then applying it versus drawing with the pencil on the paper and then applying water to that is that you've got to kind of work your brush around. I mean, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. But for me, to get the look that I like, more even look, I've got to kind of work it a little bit to get all of the bits of colored pencil, what's the word? Moisturized? That's not the right word, but to get them all wet evenly. Yeah, gotta just work it a little bit. A little bit more than if you're just applying the pigment from the brush. Yay, I think there will be a bit of a line here, which is what I wanted. But we'll just call that good. And the last thing I wanted to do with the ink, although I don't know if I need to because I was going to do a little bit of outlining. I think this is good though. Let's just leave it. Maybe right there to emphasize that line, but let's just leave it. I keep changing my mind. Let's put a rainbow. And it'll be great because then I can incorporate this red splotch that came from last week's drawing. Let's just draw right on top of it. Is this the right color? No, let's do it. This one is closer. So what kind of rainbow shall I do? Maybe I'll do horizontal. Yeah, we'll just take it all the way across. And then this will be cool because this guideline that I drew, but I don't have an eraser, so I was leaving it. I can cover it, it's still visible, but it doesn't look like part of the face anymore. Six minutes. 6 minutes left. I want to make it a nice gradient rainbow, not just not the colors next to each other, but becoming each other. Okay, so perfect. I shall put the colors that I used on this side of the watercolor pencil. Then I will stay aware of where I am in the rainbow, which colors I've used and which ones still need their chance to shine. Though, to be honest, I think I won't use the white colored pencil because there's, I don't think, maybe it'll show up if I use it on the watercolor. I guess I'll try if there's some time at the end. You got, like usual, you gotta listen to me thinking out loud, but there's time at the end, then I will see if it shows up on these gray sections that we made with the watercolor pencil. Ooh, these are blending quite nicely, actually. I've been sort of, not judgmental, but I haven't been singing the praises of these as artistic tools, but they actually blend quite nicely. Okay, so I guess I'll take the pink next and work down from the red with the pink. Oh, thank you. It looks epic. Awesome. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, at first I was like, oh no, what have I done? Look at this giant space. But now I'm very happy because I love, like I said earlier, I love color. I love rainbow. So actually this becomes like my favorite because it looks like manga style plus with rainbow. So this is the perfect piece for me. You can still tell there's something different right here because it's the bleed through from the previous piece, but at least it matches in color. Okay, now what color shall I do with this? Ooh, do green. That's right. Green comes after yellow, and it's this really light green that needs a little bit of extra help to show up. Not necessarily a problem here because the yellow is so different from the orange, but at least with the green it sort of blends a bit better. This really, really light green. So let's go to the dark green. I don't think I'm going to have room for all the colors. I guess that's okay. We don't necessarily have to use every single one, especially since there's only 3 minutes left. Ooh, the light green and the dark green really blend really nicely. Makes sense, they're both green. Okay, working up from the pink. Ooh, shall I do purple or shall I do brown? Let's just go for it. Let's just go for the brown. Regardless of it being... There's no brown in a rainbow, really. like the physical phenomenon rainbow. I don't think the light spectrum goes into brown. But for pigments, let's just do it. Brown and pink, I think, are a lovely color combination anyway. When I was trying to decide what kind of colors I wanted for my wedding, brown and pink were one of my considerations because I think it looks so nice together. But we ended up just doing my favorite colors, which is like red, black, and gold. Well, my favorite is actually red, black, and silver. But I think we did gold because we basically did a Mickey Minnie themed color scheme. Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. Okay, now I'm going to put the purple. Purple and brown. That's interesting. Interesting color combo. Less than a minute. But I'm at the edge of the page, so yay! Does not blend quite as well as some of the other colors. That's okay. Whatever. Fine. We're just doing some interesting stuff. Okay. There's seconds left. Let's just add some. So I've got this light blue. I'm just going to put it all over. It'll just be little hints here and there of the light blue showing up. Here's the, I forgot to put them on the other side. Here's the dark blue. Do the same thing. Hints here and there, dark blue everywhere. Ooh, yeah, I like it. Okay, so let's call that good, because there's just mere seconds left. Here is the final piece. It still has some drying to do. It's still a bit damp, but here it is the way that I drew it. So upside down from the reference picture. Let's see. I think it's going to be pretty good this time, because I drew it so closely, but... Here's turned opposite. So this is how the page would be if the book wasn't upside down. I think that's pretty good. I think I got the shape, the eye shape and the forehead and the nose and their proportions and stuff. So, well, yeah, I mean, when I zoom in so close, it's a lot easier than drawing a whole body, but yeah, it's like he's doing something. It's a sunset. It actually looks like a sunset. We did it! Right on time. Oh, thank you. Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, that's so true. Brown is just dark orange. It's so true. Just like a pink is light red. I got distracted by my own rainbow. Okay. We are at time. We're actually over a little bit. So I will let you go for today. I'll be back on Friday for Chibi Friday. I'm making a thank you chibi for XD for being a year subscriber. I'm really looking forward to it. So, hopefully see you then. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Great Thursday as well. Thank you for watching.